And we're back, day 2 of the Realcomm IBCon conference here in Savannah. With me is Eric Walsh, Executive Managing Director for North America for MRI Software. Hi, Eric. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. It's the last day. It's been a great show.
It's been outstanding.
Yeah, MRI, thank you very much for being our platinum sponsor this year.
Our
great
pleasure.
Partner.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, our absolute pleasure to be a platinum partner with you guys.
Great. Well, you know, a lot of people may not, everybody's familiar with MRI, but they may not be familiar necessarily with you. Could you give us a little bit of your background, how long you've been with MRI, what your role is in the company?
Yeah, sure. Thanks for asking. So again, my name's Eric Walsh. I'm currently the Executive Managing Director for North America at MRI, but I've been with the company for 3.5 years. Okay. For the first 3 years, I was the Executive Vice President of Global Delivery and Operations. So what that means is sort of on the front end, I was responsible for all of our professional services, managed services, client support, and client success out of North America, EMEA, and APAC, and then also had the opportunity to run all of our back office operations, business operations, product operations, sales, RevOps, all of those components really gave me an opportunity to learn a lot about all of our clients, how we deliver to them, maybe some of the things we do really well, some of the things we could do a little bit better, and then how we operate. And then in December of last year, I stepped into the role to run North America and really responsible for all of our team members and all of our clients and solutions in North America, and just been having an absolutely wonderful time doing that.
Well, it sounds like you've got a big job and a lot on your plate.
There's no shortage of things to do, that's for sure.
Right.
Especially with how fast technology is moving today. But couldn't be more grateful to have the opportunity.
Good. Well, you know, this is a technology conference, technology and real estate. What do you think is one of the most important aspects when an owner is looking at implementing technology? Is there one thing that you are really focused on when they're starting to look in that direction? Yeah,
you know, listen, there's no shortage of things to consider if you're an owner, an operator, an occupier when you're going to make an investment. But I really think that one, it comes down to what we've been talking about at Realcomm this whole week, which is the return on innovation. And that has a lot to do not just with the technology that you want to acquire, but it's really about the vendor or PropTech provider that you're going to be doing business with, right? So if you should really think about what problems do you have to solve today, but is that PropTech provider, is that vendor going to be someone that becomes a partner for life and gives you an opportunity to scale and grow with your business? Are they creating an open and connected system for you? Because with how fast technology is moving, I guarantee you there's going to be a solution or a product that we haven't even thought of that comes up in the next 15 minutes or next year that you're going to want to plug in. And are they going to allow you to be able to do that? Are they going to help you differentiate and scale and grow? Or are they going to limit you in the way that you do that? So you really have to think about the problems that you're solving today, but more importantly, where is your business going to go in the next 1, 3, and 5 years? And is that PropTech provider, who hopefully will be a partner for life, going to help you get there? Or are they going to limit that for you? So I think it's really important to consider not just the tech, but the partnership and the vendor that you're going to be doing business with. Absolutely.
And MRI is very good about listening to their clients and adjusting and pivoting to address the specific needs. And so what would you say would be, you know, how would they prioritize? What should be the priority in implementing a technology strategy?
Well, there's no shortage of things to get distracted with right now, right? We're all talking about AI. Next year it'll probably be something else. And so you can always be distracted by the next feature. Maybe something's flashy or trendy, and again, there will be things that we haven't even thought of that pop up by the next venture-backed point solution provider. But if you want to prioritize really one thing when you're thinking about making an investment, I guess I would encourage every business to prioritize input from the internal stakeholders in the business. Okay. You really have to put the time in upfront to interrogate your own business processes, interview your team, and not just the C-suite, but really every level of the organization, and design and define the problems that must be solved and the outcomes that must be obtained, and let that be the thing that prioritizes how you evaluate the vendor or partner, how you evaluate the solution, and don't let us distract you from the problem you have to solve.
Right.
And so I would prioritize that internal input and prioritize your own problems and outcomes that you have to have, and let that drive the decision-making process and the evaluation process.
I think that's a really good point. It goes back to not implementing technology for technology's sake, but to implement it to solve the problem and to keep your eye on solving the problem. And how do you do that?
100%. I mean, a lot of times I'll work with owners or operators, and really the message I get is, can we just implement with you and do things the way we're already doing it?
Right.
And at that point, I tell them, you're just going to spend money for money's sake, and I would tell you not to do that.
Right.
There's no point in making this investment, and there will be some disruption to your business, but ultimately the return on that innovation should materially outweigh the pain that's caused.
Right.
But you'll only do that if you really do prioritize those problems and don't get distracted with the flash or the trend or a feature set, but really problems and outcomes.
Right. Well, as you've noticed, we're talking a lot about AI.
Yeah.
So
I have noticed.
Have you noticed?
Yeah.
AI is really impacting every corner of the built environment. So how is MRI approaching AI? What are the prioritizations of MRI as you are considering AI and what that means to your solution stack? Can you speak to that?
Yeah, so I'll speak to it in kind of broad terms. We won't get too deep into exactly what we're doing. What I would tell you is we're not new to the world of AI. We've had an AI, or what we refer to as A2I strategy, for years now, and we've been iterating on that for quite a while. The thing I'm most excited about with what we are doing with AI is freeing up owners, operators, and occupiers to spend less time in the business and have an ability to spend more time working on their business. For example, month-end close process, which we have a new AI component that allows people to do that in really 1/3 the time than they had before. That is not a differentiating activity for a business, but it is one that has to happen. And so if we have the tools and technology that allow people to own their data and interact with it in real language in real time on the page that they're on at that moment, and be given insights and directives that help them perform their job easier, they can spend less time on the things that aren't truly value add or differentiating, and more time on the tenant experience, or more time on the business in a way that allows them to compete in what is an ever-challenging world. So we're approaching it in, whether it's agentic AI or generative AI, we have different solutions on page level, support mechanisms, and it's really all focused on helping the people that are using the systems and solutions to own the data, get insights from the data, and free them up to have more time to do the things that are really important to them. And also, we do it in a really responsible way with appropriate governance and the right controls that allow you to control your data, and what we're doing with AI as well.
Well, we're almost out of time. Got about a minute and a half. Is there a particular takeaway that you would like to leave the audience with concerning, AI, the implementation of technology, just in general, or maybe something that you see coming in the next 6, 9, 12 months?
Yeah, I think it goes back to the first question, which is what do you want to consider, or what should you consider if you're a buyer or making an investment? And it does go back to the theme at Realcomm, which is the return on innovation. And I would tell everyone out there that things will continue to change, but they will also stay the same. There will be more things that you can purchase and invest in and do every single day. And you really have to stay true, to the core of the business, the things that you have to solve, let you and your organization drive your priorities, but really, really evaluate the people that you're going to do business with. It is not just about the technology, but it is about the company that you are going to have a partnership with. And at MRI, we endeavor to have a partnership for life. And I would encourage that everyone out there who's thinking about making an investment, try to approach it the same way, because it's not just today's problem we're solving, it's the ability for that PropTech provider to help you grow, scale, and differentiate. So no matter how much changes, you should always still continue to focus on the partnership and the problems that you have to solve in your own organization.
That's a great message, a great thing to keep in mind. Well, Chris, it was great having you. Thank you so much for being here. Look forward to talking to you again. Maybe next year we'll pop in, have a conversation, and look at maybe what has changed. I'm sure AI is going to look even more different.
Maybe it'll be my avatar here next year.
It's going so fast. Yeah, well, it was great chatting with you.
Thank you so much.
And thank you for being here.
Yeah, what a wonderful Realcomm.
Thank you.
Congratulations, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you
Cheers.
very much.